光。So once again, we would like to extend our appreciation and recognition to all the distinguished guests joining here this evening. Thank you for being here, and we sincerely wish each and every one of you can have a wonderful time tonight. 再次的感谢我们今天每位贵宾的莅临出席，也预祝各位都能够尽情的享受度过非常美好的时光。Gentle reminder, the President is about to arrive, so please kindly take your seats. And we would also like to remind everyone again to remain seated as we welcome the President into the ballroom later. 各位贵宾，赖总统稍后即将抵达现场，请大家尽速就座。也提醒各位稍后避免起身，请大家配合维持就座的形式来欢迎总统。最后也再次提醒大家，记得将您的电子设备以及手机调整为震动或是静音的模式。And also as a reminder, please remember to switch your mobile phones and devices into silent and vibration mode. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome the arrival of our guest of honor, His Excellency Dr. 赖清德, President of the Republic of Taiwan. 我们用热烈的掌声欢迎赖清德总统莅临今天欧洲日晚宴现场，欢迎总统。Let's give a warm round of applause to welcome Mr. President. Thank you very much, everyone. Please be seated. 感谢各位贵宾，请坐。Mr. President, distinguished guests, members of the European Chamber of Commerce Taiwan, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the 2026 Europe Day dinner. My name is Maggie Wu, and it is my great pleasure to serve as your MC for tonight. To begin tonight's program, we'd like to present some of the most prestigious ECCT member companies that are proudly doing business in Taiwan. All of them have generously agreed to be our golden sponsor for tonight's event. And now, without further ado, please join me in watching Excellence in Commerce and Industry. And now, on behalf of ECCT, I'd like to once again thank our gold sponsors in alphabetical order. As your company is called, please feel free to give us a big cheer or applause. 那接下来我们会再一次的唱名今晚的金质赞助商，也欢迎大家稍后在唱名到您的公司时，可以再来一点欢呼声。Alright, first let's welcome and also thank Allianz. And next, let's welcome and thank BNP Paribas. Next, let's welcome Ericsson. And moving on, we have GSK. Following that is Heineken. Moving on, let us introduce HSBC. And I would also like to thank L'Oreal. And moving on, let us give our applause to Nokia. And next on, let's welcome Novo Nordisk. Moving on, let's welcome SHL Medical. Next, let's extend our appreciation to Siemens. Moving on, let's welcome Société Générale. And next, let's welcome and thank Standard Chartered. Next, let's welcome Todd Island. Moving on, let's thank Volkswagen Group. And last but not least, let's welcome Orsted. Once again, a big thank you to our gold sponsors. And of course, later tonight, we will also recognize our silver sponsors and all the other partners supporting this wonderful event. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the opening remarks, I would like to welcome Ms. Tina Graves, Chairperson of the European Chamber of Commerce, Taiwan, Mr. Lord Honor, Head of the European Economic and Trade Office in Taipei, and His Excellency Lai Ching-te, President of the Republic of China, Taiwan, to come onto the stage. 我们掌声欢迎 ECCT 来自贸理事长、CEO 欧洲经贸办事处副记者处长以及赖清德总统来到舞台就座。Let's once again welcome Mr. President, Mr. Governor, and Ms. Graves as they join us and take their seats on the stage. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Ms. Tina Graves, the Chairperson of the European Chamber of Commerce Taiwan, to address us. Please welcome Ms. Graves.
Your Excellency, President Lai Ching-te, Head of Office, European Economic and Trade Office, Mr. Litzfelder, Ministers, representatives of EU member states, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom, distinguished guests, colleagues, and friends, good evening. I would like to begin by paying tribute to our former chairperson, Giuseppe Isel, who sadly passed away in February of this year. Giuseppe made an outstanding contribution to the ECCT in his 6 years as chairperson. He expanded the Chamber's reach and influence and strengthened relations with central and municipal leaders across Taiwan. He will be dearly missed and remembered. Europe Day, which is the 9th of May, is a commemoration of the start of the European Union, marked by the Schuman Declaration for deeper cooperation in Europe. This year's Europe Day dinner in Taiwan is particularly meaningful, as 2026 is the 30th anniversary since Taiwan's first direct presidential election was held. Over 3 decades, Taiwan has shown how democratic institutions can take root and flourish, and how openness can deliver prosperity. A remarkable achievement by all the citizens that made Taiwan an important link in the global chain of democracies. The ECCT is proud to have contributed to Taiwan's growth since our establishment in 1988. At the core of the Europe-Taiwan partnership are shared values of freedom and democracy. However, with the rapid pace of change in the world today, whether through technology development, geopolitical challenges, or demographic changes, building resilience becomes ever more critical to uphold our ways of living and to ensure continued prosperity. Tonight, I would like to share the Chamber's view on resilience, focusing on technology, energy, and demography. These are what we believe to be overarching and critical topics for Europe and Taiwan. And I sincerely hope that we can keep our dialogues open on all of the sectors where ECCT member companies can leverage European experiences for the resilience of Taiwan as trusted, reliable partners. Taiwan's GDP ranked 21st globally in 2025, with its increasing strategic importance to the technologies and supply chains that enable modern life. Taiwan's economic achievement is also a victory for democracy, which has further enhanced the solidarity of the like-minded globally. The European business community has been an integral part of Taiwan's remarkable journey of development. Europe is Taiwan's largest source of foreign direct investment, with a cumulative amount of over $79 billion US, creating numerous job opportunities, transferring know-how, and bridging Taiwan with international practices that enhance transparency and regulations. At the heart of this shared prosperity is technology. Taiwan produces over 90% of the world's advanced semiconductors, which are critical to Europe's automotive sector and AI development. TSMC's investments in Dresden, Germany, and investments by European companies here in Taiwan, including recent FDI by ASML, Merck, and Air Liquide, illustrate how Europe and Taiwan are building trusted supply chains that underpin the AI-driven economy. While we deepen this natural partnership on AI, we also want to ensure that we set the guardrails with shared standards and governance to facilitate trade, investment, and digital resilience. Our commitment to a safe, ethical, and human-centered AI will help grow the trusted supply chain and maximize the benefits of our partnership. Energy is indispensable for the development of AI. According to the International Energy Agency, electricity consumption from data centers has grown 12% annually over the last 5 years. For Taiwan to maintain competitiveness in the AI industry, it is critical to ensure a stable and sustainable energy supply. Ongoing conflict in the Middle East and the disruption to fossil fuel supplies has also exposed the vulnerability of many countries in the world that heavily rely on energy imports. Locally sourced renewables, wind, solar, and geothermal energy could be the optimal path to energy security, shielding Taiwan's economy from global shocks. In Europe, renewable energy sources continue to be highly cost competitive and have reached record deployment, providing 48% of electricity. Europe is one of the largest global markets for net zero technologies, and many of its leading companies have invested in Taiwan for over a decade, becoming an integral... I lost my spot. Coming back. Thank you. But this is important, so let me get it right. Europe is one of the largest global markets for net zero technologies, and many of its leading companies have invested in Taiwan for over a decade, becoming an integral part of its clean energy ecosystem. ECCT member companies are keen to further support the government's vision of net zero transition as a growth engine and to maximize the proportion of green energy. Apart from the technology input and investment in Taiwan, European corporations can also contribute with sharing the best practices that enabled Europe's successful energy transition. ECCT welcomed the government's adoption of certain recommendations on the offshore wind auction rules for the round 3.3 zonal development. In the spirit of partnership and open dialogue, we hope that authorities can draw on European best practices by adopting our remaining recommendations for round 3.3, creating a genuine one-stop permitting authority for all types of renewable energy, and applying an overriding public interest approach in the EIA process for renewable projects. This would better balance local concerns with national priorities, reduce uncertainty for investors, and accelerate energy transition grounded in trust and accountability. Energy autonomy must also be matched with cleaner mobility. Electrifying transport is a crucial pillar of the transition. To accelerate EV adoption, Taiwan can draw on what has worked in Europe: targeted tax incentives and subsidies for passenger and commercial EVs, and clear charging safety rules to speed deployment. For example, the continuation of tax support for internal combustion engine vehicles since last September might risk sending mixed signals on Taiwan's EV transformation roadmap. As electrification scales, Taiwan can capture higher value in next-generation mobility, power electronics, smart charging, software, and advanced materials, where Taiwan and Europe already complement each other. When we discuss resilience, it is not only tied to technology and infrastructure. The fundamental and overarching issue for sustainability is Taiwan's rapid demographic changes. Since 2025, Taiwan has officially turned into a super-age society, posing growing challenges on healthcare. We welcome the establishment of the Healthy Taiwan Promotion Committee and applaud the key measures such as the Cancer Drug Fund, expedited cancer screening, lowering the age limit for reimbursed health checks, and the Chronic Disease Management Program, Sanggao Fanji Ba 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 Jiwa. All of these indicate the government's commitment under President Mai's leadership. Taiwan's achievement on pandemic control and its universal healthcare system are unique in the world, and the ECCT continues to support Taiwan's meaningful participation in the World Health Organization. President Lai, to support your vision of a healthier Taiwan, ECCT members stand ready to work with the government to further address challenges caused by drug accessibility. We also believe that an aging society presents both challenges and opportunities. By promoting health prevention measures, Taiwan is ideally placed to become a world champion in keeping the aging society healthy and productive, adding more life to years, not just years to life. We'd also like to point to a standout opportunity for Taiwan to become a trusted regional powerhouse for clinical research, utilizing its rich database and research capability to benefit patients, develop the ecosystem, and deepen connections with European innovation. As the demography changes, modernizing workplace practices and replenishing the workforce are also critical to Taiwan's resilience. ECCT approaches the frequent exchanges we have with the National Development Council and the Ministry of Labor, and we hope that we can continue to work with Taiwan authorities to simplify and expedite the pathways for bringing in international professionals and foreign laborers. We also applaud the government's adoption of recommendations in our position papers to relax the requirements to hire domestic helpers, to expand subsidies for childcare, and lengthen parental leave allowances. This policy direction is aligned with the position of ECCT's Family Friendly Alliance, which is a cross-sector platform that engages with policymakers to exchange thoughts on transitioning labor law and workplace practices that could better support the new demographic structure. Many European countries and corporations have gone through similar transitions, and we believe that ECCT can bridge over these experiences and serve as a useful partner as Taiwan's economy and social structure develops into the new phase. Apart from the three across-the-board topics of resilience, technology, energy, and demography, there are many other important issues raised by our 28 ECCT committees, which were articulated in our 2026 position papers, which were titled Strengthening Taiwan's Resilience in Uncertain Times. I could talk until midnight. just to give you a summary of each chapter, but I know you're hungry. So I'll soon have to bring it to a close. It does, however, show the breadth and depth of the European business community here in Taiwan, and how our success is deeply rooted in Taiwan's success. In last year's Europe Day dinner, President Lai, you highlighted your expectation for further establishing institutionalized mechanisms between Europe and Taiwan, and for our trade and investment ties. On behalf of the Chamber, I would like to reaffirm our commitment to Taiwan's development and to support your vision of a resilient Taiwan. Mr. President, in times of uncertainty, you can count on Team Europe to be your trusted, predictable, and reliable partner. ECCT has been and will continue to be a crucial part of the Europe-Taiwan collaboration, and we sincerely hope that we can turn challenges into shared opportunities, make Taiwan the partner of choice for Europe, and likewise for Europe to be a strategic partner in Taiwan's global connection. Thank you, and I wish you all a successful 2026.
As mentioned by Chairperson Graves, the Chamber will always remain committed to working hand in hand with all sectors to deepen and strengthen Taiwan-Europe partnerships. And now moving on, please join me in welcoming Mr. Lars Bonner, the head of the European Economic and Trade Office in Taipei, to deliver his remarks. Welcome.
Dear Tina Graves, ECT Chairperson, dear Freddie Höglund, and all ECCT board members, and all ECCT members, your ministers, mayors, representatives, and distinguished guests. Allow me also to start with a tribute to Giuseppe Isto. When I met Beppe, as he was called, for the first time, it was not an easy meeting. First, I was a bit stunned, actually, by his appearance. White linen shirt, Italian designer suits, the trendy hat, the sunglasses. And he started our meeting, and Freddie is actually a witness of it because he was there, with the following statement on the relationship between my office, the European Economic and Trade Office, and the ECCT, the Chamber. He said, and I forgive the Italian accent, it is like the human resources personal development assessment. You have three options: excellent, satisfactory, or room for improvement. And our relationship, he added, has room for improvement. I was very puzzled at the time, and only later understood that what he meant was actually that he really wanted to work closely with us and me personally. It was his way of expressing his wish for a new beginning, actually a beginning of a beautiful friendship. And I enjoyed all the meetings with him, also in the indispensable restaurant Cantina del Gio, so he is clearly missed. Coming back to tonight, until very recently, fewer than half of the Europeans could actually locate Taiwan on a map, or confused it with Thailand. That has changed, and it's good. We all recognize that this island plays an important role in the global economy, and in my view also in the future of democratic resilience. This is of course due to a large degree because of the high-tech and semiconductor sector. Taiwan is the 13th largest trading partner of the European Union, with bilateral trade in goods exceeding 76 billion. And 76 billion is in euro. I tried to convert it into NTDs, is actually 2.78 trillion NTDs. And we have seen very impressive growth just in the first 4 months of this year of 43%. So this is a very good direction. On investment, it is very well known, and Tina just said it, that Europe is the biggest investor here in Taiwan, representing more than the United States and Japan taken together. But, to quote Pepe Itzo, there's room for improvement, as we're actually a little bit down in the yearly numbers. Nevertheless, some examples like the TSMC investment in Dresden are stunning. I actually went to Dresden to visit the site. It is one of the biggest construction sites in Europe still. And we also see companies like Foxconn, Global Wafers, and many, many others increasingly engaging in the European market. And we need more interaction like that in both directions. And in this context, let me invite you, the President, but also all participants here already now to the European Investment Forum that we're organizing in the margins of Senicon on the 1st of September. But even with all the understandable focus in Taiwan on the United States, let me nevertheless highlight a little bit the European offer here. Europe is the largest single market in the world, with our 450 million citizens. It is home to cutting-edge industry and business. And it is also home to a vibrant and rapidly growing tech ecosystem with over 35,000 startups and more than 250 so-called unicorns, making it one of the world's leading hubs for innovation and digital transformation. And if I include our friends from the United Kingdom and Switzerland, it's even more. But the EU currently relies on non-EU countries for over 80% of our key digital products, services, infrastructure, intellectual property, and we're determined to reduce this dependency. We want to diversify in this area. And you will see soon a proposal from the European Commission which is called the European Tech Sovereignty Package. It will include a number of new important initiatives like the EU Chips Act and other initiatives, and this will open up new opportunities. Here, cooperation between Europe and Taiwan is not just beneficial or mutually beneficial, in my view it's strategic. Taiwan's leadership in the semiconductor sector and its role in global technology ecosystems makes it an indispensable partner for Europe as we strengthen both our technological resilience and reduce critical dependencies. Another issue of cooperation is obviously energy. The global transition towards sustainable and renewable energy is reshaping our economies and societies. And this should be also an opportunity for cooperation. Tina has just mentioned many of those areas. And I would also like to see this progress in particular in this promising area of offshore wind energy production. At the same time, both Europe and Taiwan face very similar challenges. Democracies today are under pressure from disinformation, from external interference, from attempts to undermine the trust in our institutions. President Lai, I know how much you put emphasis on societal resilience, on public trust, on democratic responsibilities. Europeans can relate strongly to this idea that leadership is not only about power or institutions, but ultimately about service to the people. In this context, cooperation between Taiwan and Europe is not just utilitarian. It is about protecting a way of life that values freedom, transparency, and human dignity. And if I may add this is even more important in time of rising authoritarian tendencies. This is why the EU will stand steadfast within its support for Ukraine in the light of the ongoing Russian aggression, as we sadly can see every day in the news. In conclusion, let me thank all of you in this room, and it's a big room today. I hear it's more than 800 people, and congratulations for this, for all your work that all of you are doing to bring forward EU-Taiwan relations, be it on the economic side or in any other areas. The relationship between Europe and Taiwan, and I'm convinced of this, holds great promise. In a world of increasing uncertainty, partnerships like the one between Europe and Taiwan are more than just valuable. My office and I personally are fully committed to working with all of you, in particular with the ECCT family, and thank you again for inviting me to move ahead in this area. A happy belated Europe Day to all of you, and many thanks. 谢谢.
Thank you very much, Mr. We're talking about the strong and long-standing partnership between Taiwan and Europe, but also highlight the importance of continued collaboration in areas such as trade, technology, innovation, sustainability, and shared democratic values. We would like also to extend our sincere appreciation to the European Economic and Trade Office, as well as to all the European representatives, officers, and partners in Taiwan for your continued support. And now, ladies and gentlemen, with a big round of applause, please welcome His Excellency, President赖清德of the Republic of Taiwan, for the breakfast and of the 2026欧洲日晚宴。
ECCT Chairperson Tina Rivers, Head of the EETO, Luz Gunners, representatives of European countries in Taiwan, distinguished guests, ladies, good evening. I'm delighted to attend another Europe Day dinner. First, let me thank the ECCT for its long-term support for Taiwan. I also thank our friends from Europe for working hard to promote Taiwan-Europe ties. Europe Day celebrates the Schuman Declaration, which 76 years ago opened the path to peace and cooperation in Europe. It also teaches us an important lesson. Peace cannot be taken for granted. It requires solidarity and must be a shared responsibility. Only then can we choose cooperation over confrontation and ensure regional stability and prosperity. The Schuman Declaration led European nations to jointly manage coal and steel. By doing this, they turned a potential cause of conflict into a foundation for peace. Today, the world faces an uncertain landscape. In times like this, we should look to the spirit of cooperation in the Schuman Declaration. This spirit can also guide us as we deepen the partnership between Taiwan and Europe. Half a century ago, coal and steel were the foundations of peace in Europe. Today, semiconductors and AI are the backbone of global prosperity and democratic security. Taiwan plays a critical role in the global supply chain for advanced chips and AI servers. However, we didn't achieve this success alone. Our semiconductors ecosystem combines key technologies from top European companies. This goes beyond industry cooperation. It's the result of like-minded partners working hand in hand. Currently, the world is focusing on supply chain security and de-risking. Because of this trend, emerging industries related to national security, such as drones, have become important areas for Taiwan-Europe cooperation. Through this country industrial links, we will work together to build secure, diversified, and reliable democratic supply chains. Our partnerships range from strategic cooperation based on shared values to concrete industrial links. Although Taiwan and Europe are far apart, Our strong economic and trade foundation enables us to overcome the distance. Europe is Taiwan's largest source of foreign direct investment. It's also our third largest trade partner. Europe continues to invest in Taiwan, and at the same time, Taiwan is rapidly expanding investment in Europe. Over the last decade, we have seen Taiwanese investment in EU member states surge by 650%. This reflects the deep and growing relationship between Taiwan and the EU. We hope that Europe will take the next step in supporting a bilateral investment agreement with Taiwan. And through our robust measures, we hope to solve the issues of double taxation, putting us both on the path to greater prosperity. Beyond supply chains and trade, we are also bound together by our shared convictions on regional peace and universal values. In the face of authoritarian military threats, Taiwan has remained calm and responsible. We have firmly safeguarded the status quo across the Taiwan Strait and continued enhancing our self-defense capabilities. Peace in the Taiwan Strait is no longer just a regional issue, it is a global issue. I would like to thank the European Parliament, NATO leaders, the G7 and European nations for continuously emphasizing the importance of stability in the Indo-Pacific. This reflects a clear consensus. The security of Europe and the Indo-Pacific are inseparable. Global health security is no different. As you all know, the World Health Assembly just ended a few days ago. So here, I would like to give a special thanks to EU for its support of Taiwan's international participation. Because health knows no borders, this solid support from Europe lets Taiwan know that we are not alone. My dear friend, 76 years ago, the Schuman Declaration proved something to the world. Even in the darkest ruins, if people take the long view and work together in unity, they can lay the foundation for peace. In today's world, Taiwan stands at the front line of democratic community. We continue to be a stable force for good and a responsible member of the international community. Taiwan is in a challenging situation, but we are not afraid because Taiwan is the Taiwan of the world. As we pursue peace and freedom, we know like-minded democratic partners around the world will continue to work side by side with Taiwan. Our belief in freedom and democracy carries on the spirit of the Schuman Declaration. I look forward to Taiwan and Europe deepening our diverse partnership so that democratic resilience proves stronger than authoritarian ambition. May unity light our path forward. I wish today's event great success and may the Taiwan-Euro friendship endure for many years to come. Thank you.
We also invite Mr. Governor and Ms. Graves to join Mr. President for the toast. And now, as is tradition, we would like to invite our guest of honors to drink a toast to officially kick off dinner. And we also invite everyone to prepare your glasses, pour yourself a little wine or juice, and let's get ready for this moment. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Please raise your glasses and join us in drinking a toast together. 让我们为台欧携手共创荣景，共同干杯。Let us drink to building prosperity through partnership. Cheers! Cheers to the 76th anniversary of the Schuman Declaration, and may the friendship we build continue to grow stronger in the years ahead. 让我们一同庆祝舒曼宣言76周年，以及台欧之间持续深化的友谊与合作关系。Thank you once again, Mr. President, Mr. Governor, Ms. Graves, and all our guests of honor. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been deeply honored to have the President spend his precious time with us, and His Excellency is about to leave. 今天非常荣幸有总统莅临到今日晚宴的开幕，也邀请贵宾一起以掌声来恭送总统。Let's give farewell to the President and His Excellency Goodbye. 再次的感谢赖总统特别莅临2026欧洲日晚宴，为今晚的活动增添光彩，再一次的谢谢总统。Once again, I would like to express our heartfelt appreciation to the President for joining us tonight. Thank you very much. Please be seated. 感谢大家，请入座。Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for your wonderful patience. I know everyone must be getting hungry, and I'm happy to announce that
100万订阅大突破，台视新闻 TTV News 感谢有你，重要直播随时掌握，时事新闻不漏接，一刀未剪，新闻看得更完整，国际重大事件 catch 时事最新脉动，按赞订阅，开启小铃铛。